This is Mongolian Mindset, and today we're going to be responding to E. Kevin, do 50 Cent, please. Kevin, you know we love you. You are a faithful subscriber. You've been here since the beginning. People don't believe I'm showing you favoritism, so we got to skip over you a couple times next in the future. But we're going to do 50 Cent for you. Our sworn enemy personality database has 50 Cent as a ESTP. Okay, so we're going to break them down using Linda Barrens metrics. That's interaction styles and temperament, and we're gonna do some cognitive functions to make sure we get what we're getting 100% correct. But let's look at the chart here. The typing chart for ESTP is right there. ESTPs are direct, they're pragmatic, they're concrete. They're TIFE, they're SENI. And their interest focus. Their outcome always too, they're looking at the end product. So they direct, initiating as well. They're initiating, so they're extroverted. So we're gonna look at them today, and we're gonna see if he's a ESTP. Okay. Personality base. They've been right 3 times in a row, so we're gonna see if they fucked up this time. If not, you know me, I'm gonna tell them straight up drug test the motherfuckers. But we are still doing typings by us. People are charging $500 to get typed. We are charging free. Okay, so get that why it's a limited time service, because in the future we will be charging. So get that now. One of our goals is to have the most accurate MBTI group. That's our Facebook group. So please join that as well. If you want to be type us, all you have to do is join the Facebook group and message our moderator Cody. Make sure you message Cody with your availability, and we'll get you typed, because we're going to end this free typing service, because it's just I want to do more things, and Thomas and Shelly have other things to do as well. So we're going to end that. So get it while you can. But yeah, and 50% of our viewers are not subscribed, so please subscribe. Let's get into this fucking 50 Cent.
I'm gonna bring his 8 Mile to television.
Oh.
Yeah,
Does he know that?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
How far along in the process are you guys of that?
We're emotional.
Really? So 8 Mile, the TV show.
Yeah.
That's
Series.
dope. Big Boy's Neighborhood. I'm not going to even beat around the bush. 50 Cent is in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And first off, Fifth, welcome back to the neighborhood.
Thanks, man. Thanks for always having me.
Hey, man, thank you for always coming back.
I know, I love it.
Hey, man, let me tell you, bro, you got to be one of the hardest working people in this business. And there is absolutely no box. Like, you don't say rapper. I know I don't. You know what I'm saying? Rapper 50 Cent. You just say 50 Cent or Curtis Jackson. 50 Cent Jackson is in the neighborhood, bro.
Yeah, man.
You have really stood, the test of time.
Yeah, I've been doing it.
And just off air, you was like, man, and I ain't stopping.
No, I'm not. I'm going to keep going, man. I'm enjoying it, man. I told you that whistle while you work concept, Vic. You got to love what you're doing.
You know what? I probably didn't hear it then. You probably said it, and it must. And I'm going to tell you, man, I've been in the radio, and we've sat down for decades now, damn it.
Okay. For me, right now, this guy's coming up here responding. I'm going to put responding down, and we're going to put the asterisk to the side of it. We're not 100% segmenting it, but we're going to put the asterisk side, okay? If he's responding, he can't be a ESTP, because they're initiating, their outcome, and they're direct, okay? So he's coming off here responding to what this guy said. We're a minute in, and we're noticing that.
Here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you are doing so much better than I am.
Why you say that? Like,
Because it's the truth. You don't want me to say it?
nah,
or
this show is massive, man.
Yeah, I mean, but
This is why I always show up.
right. Okay, I got you. Hey, man, you know what? I got to learn how to take the compliment. I'll definitely take that. You know, and congratulations, man, BMF season 2.
Thanks, man.
Hey, man, when you go to do
Yeah.
a story like that,
Right.
This guy's responding. Okay, so we're eliminating all experts. That means it can be ESTJ. Let's go to the chart, because help you guys out. Okay, because he's extroverted, he can't be ESTJ. He can't be ESTP. ESTP is already eliminated because he's responding. He can't be entj. He can't be enfj. He also can't be isfj. He can't be a ESFP. ENTP or ENFP. Okay, he has to be one of the introverts. Okay, so we're eliminating those types right now. So let's get back to it.
Right. You know, because that's a documented story. It's dear to a lot of people.
Yeah.
People know it. Are you hesitant on attaching to it, or?
No. I'm excited about those kind of projects because, look, first I feel like that in that story with BMF that you got to tell an origin story.
Right. Yeah.
Right, because you got to show the innocence of how you get involved in the lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Because if you say, okay, the guy sold a lot of drugs for a long time, they go, well, when you get caught, they go, well, about time. Because
right.
so
he's talking about
what, right? But when
he's talking about what other people are doing and what they'll sell. So that's SENI. Okay, so 1 point for that.
See them as kids in poverty.
Yeah, man.
Under circumstances where they just want to eat comfortably and have nice clothes and things like that. Then you understand why people get involved in that lifestyle. And that's you know, it's layers to these stories that I think make them a little more exciting. Like Power First is a fictional story like that, but it's a fictional story about a guy who made it to the top. There's a ghost in all of these neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. Like the guy who made it to the top.
Oh yeah,
he getting the most money around there at the time, and when you do it
so,
in illegal.
So right now I'm noticing that he's talking about from a systematic point of view, that there's always a ghost, no matter who it is that goes around him, that makes it to the top. Like no matter what society he goes in, no matter what hood he's in, there's a guy who makes it top and he makes all the money. From a hierarchy standpoint, so we're gonna put that down as systematic, and you can also put that down for TFI. Okay, so
route you say could I have done this a different way, because it does take skills to manage people and everything that's going on.
Hey man, is this so-called entertainment game, did you come in thinking about like the hustle game as well, the dope game, that did like, man, this is easy for me?
You know, in the beginning, but there was always things that I couldn't understand that was happening. That
you're talking about things you could not understand, so that's a TI perspective. So we're gonna put TI point 1, and the reason why we're gonna put TI, because we've already got TFI, so we're gonna make sure that we're seeing TI, or are we seeing FE? We're gonna make sure we're seeing what we're seeing.
I couldn't manage the artists. I couldn't keep all of the artists in pocket, or it'd be 5 of us here today. But
right.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
you talking about like G Unit, where
they're all, and because like when you look at all of the groups that came, right?
Look at all the groups that have come. That's SENI as well.
They all kind of, either the guy that's in there that is extremely talented pulls out to the front and he goes, I'm going solo.
Talking about what other people are doing. Right. That's the SE as well. Okay, keep going.
Like leaves the other guys, like, or there's the scenarios where, because it started like that big. The beauty of how G Unit worked is my solo album took off so big that I just brought them with me. So it was clear that it was
I brought them with me. I gave them an SE experience, SENI as well.
Creating the opportunity for everybody else in the crew.
Right.
But we was all together. I wish it would have been Yayo.
Why?
Because then I could have did all of the business.
Because I could have did all of the business. I don't know exactly where to put that. I wish it was Yayo. So I would say that's a hypothetical situation, because he took everybody with him originally. So this is a hypothetical situation, and he said he wish he could have did with just Yayo, because he could have did all the business. So I'm gonna put that in strap. Hypothetical.
When you say do all of the business, and
if he would have been 50 Cent big,
right,
then I would have been running the whole thing. You see what I'm saying?
Do you think that is better for you, or is it different for you?
Then it would still be 2 of us. It would still be.
Gotcha.
He'd still be 50 Cent as the artist, and out there, and I'd be probably the largest asset to us.
How
so
is
talking
the
about the best
relationship?
possible thing to do, for that to be systematic, okay? Because he's talking about the best possible thing to do. That's going in the realm of systematic, because he's saying, hey, he could have been this artist. I could have been running the show behind this. This would have been the best possible outcome for all of us. Also, that's been pragmatic as well.
With members of G Unit,
they could. Like I just look. I think that they create their own path. You know, everybody does in life.
They just that people create their own path. So that's the NE. And the reason why we're gonna put NE separately because we already got 4 points for SENI. So like the thing about whoever he is, they are able to use NE, but it's at a lower. It's in the unconscious.
It's different things. Like certain things I don't believe in, big based on
certain things I don't believe in. That's TFI.
I think the things you go through make you who you are.
Mm-hmm. And I think the things that you go through make you who you are. That's journey focused, so that's progression. So we're gonna go progression.
Like there's certain things that I'm not really. I don't even let it into my system like that. I think depression is a luxury.
Wow.
Because where I'm from, you can't afford to be depressed. You got to pay the bill, right?
Right.
So you got to go to work. You got to get up. You got to go do what you got to do. You got people right now that's at work don't feel like being there. Mm-hmm. But they got responsibilities, so they they feel uncomfortable
talking about other
while
people.
they're working.
He's talking about other people. So we're gonna close like SENI. With that said, closing out SENI eliminates ISTJ. ISTP is still alive. INTJ is still alive. INFJ is still alive. ISFJ is closed. INTP is closed. INFP are closed because they're SINE users and he's a SENI user. So let's keep going. We're down to 4 types. That's ISFP, ISTP, INTJ, and INFJ.
What they gotta do, when these guys get in a slump and they just decide that they're not gonna do anything.
Talking about what other people are doing again, it's SENI.
I'm like, where they do that at?
Right.
Even when you're on the street, you got a pack. You just decide not to come outside.
Yeah.
They're gonna beat you. You're gonna beat the death.
You doing this, you doing that. SENI.
You come out. They're gonna beat the.
Yeah.
You definitely.
So
is
it different when you get up and say, "Man, I gotta go get mine," as opposed to like when I started radio, right? Mm-hmm. It was me and a guy by the name of Humpty. Yeah. And that only lasted for like 2-3 weeks. They had a different vision. I didn't know radio.
Right.
But I'm so glad in my career that I didn't have an and. I've had Big Boy's Neighborhood, but I didn't have the Big Boy and Liz show. The Big Boy and, because then it's we got different hustles, different grinds, lifestyles are different. At some point you can grow apart or fade away, or you want to start a different life, a different family.
So he's talking about outcome and he's talking about control. This guy's talking about outcome and control.
Family. So are you good now that you say I don't have that and or
well, you know what, it does feel good to have it be a singular focus, because even with multiple things running,
yeah, definitely,
it does feel like it feels better to do that, because I know I'm not gonna not go left on me.
Right. You're gonna show up.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And then the other,
you're not gonna be dissing yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, wait, what did I put out on social media about me?
That's not interest focused, just to put it. I'm not gonna be dissing myself. So we're gonna put an interest on that.
Big, you go, because this is the thing. When artists are unhappy, you know whose fault it is. It's the label's fault.
Right.
Whenever it doesn't work, because they place. Look at it now. The new artists, they meet the audience before they meet the record company. Yeah. Because they made the joint, they put it out, it's on iTunes, it's out. They start to heat up, and they get the record company around them for structure. A group of people that.
All right, so he's coming off direct. Okay, so if he's coming off direct, that eliminates ISFP. We're down to 3 types. We're down to ISTP, INTJ, and INFJ. Okay. If he's a TI user, then we're down to ISTP and INFJ. If he's a TE user, we're already dead at INTJ. We don't even need to do any more math.
They can organize it and make it work to its full potential. When that happens, then they're like, yo, it's cool. But the business, when we hear amazing artists and you go, what happened to them? Like, where'd they go? It wasn't done making music after 2 albums. Like, where the rest of the music at? And it just, the business happened to them. So it's like if the company loses focus, if they're not in the red on the project so much, then they go, yo, okay, let's get that next single. If it doesn't, when the ball hits the wall, if it bounces off big, then that's the end of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got certain guys that are their relationships made them so powerful, like in our business, that they can't be moved. Like Dre, I don't think you understand. Like this is why you've never heard me say anything negative.
Talking about what other people think, that's TEFI.
You see what I'm saying? And also connected to like M, because M's our relationship. My Eminem is Dr. Dre is Eminem's. To Eminem to me is what Dr. Dre is to Eminem.
Yeah.
So to disrespect him in any way is just you out of pocket. You're not even following the chain of command that
Do
way.
y'all ever have, like, before, was there ever any disagreement?
I want to put that more down for TE, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to skip over it because we can get more points.
You know, there's certain things that you just don't take to the public because it's not for the public?
Yeah. Like if there's, well, with Dre, not much. Like he going to do what he want to do regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you going, like Jimmy, their relationships, that's a different kind of relationship.
Right.
Bro. That was, like, even when it was East Coast, West Coast, they are the West Coast, bro.
Right, yeah.
Like the whole thing. So you go, when I get over
SE.
here and you're an East Coast artist, Ye had said this in the interview. It's like, there was a point where, like, I said I felt like a New York Knicks ball player in the LA locker room, right? Like, and I was like, yo.
So let's go back to that. He just referenced.
Like the whole thing. So you go, when I get over here and you're an East Coast artist, Ye had said this in the interview.
Ye said this, so he's referencing Ye, so that's TE.
There was a point
outside
where,
sources.
I said I felt like a New York Knicks ball player in the LA locker room. Right? Like, and I was like, yo.
Visitors.
Yeah. Right. Like, I'm like, yo, we should be home here. I'm home. This is the home team. But it was never, you see, even when the award show thing happened, we was there.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you're supposed to be there. Like, that's just the way I was raised, baby.
Hey, man, when you think about where the music business is at now, you say that you coming with new music for 2023.
Yeah.
And the music business, man, is fickle, and some people want to run away from the music business, especially when they find the success that you found.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What makes you say, I want new music in 2023?
Because I can make what I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not.
I can make what I want to make. That's SENI.
I don't want them to be excited or to buy it. At this point, I just want to tour, big. I just want to tour.
I know.
36 countries have sold out in arenas.
I just did this. I did that from achievements perspective. That's TEFI. Okay. 50 Cent is dead right there as an INTJ. Okay. ISP, INFJ are dead because he's coming from a TEFI perspective, and we had direct responding. SENI, so ICJ is eliminated, and he's talking about TEFI perspective. But let's keep going to make sure.
No support acts. No Live Nation to support the straight to venue, big money. Because I supported the tour myself.
I heard that. Put down and invested in yourself.
I supported the tour myself. Come on, give me more credit, baby. Please give me more credit. TEFI.
What does that feel like to go out damn near after 20 years after Get Rich? You know, Get Rich or Die Trying, and the audience still show up, especially in the business where you're here today and gone tonight.
It's amazing, man. And it's also, I attribute that to also being connected to the three-headed monster. It's also Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Right.
You sound like people forget. They forget what it really is. Big. Like, look at this. Our culture, when you see new artists, you see them with these Lamborghinis, these Rolls Royces and Bentleys and stuff like that. Hip hop was not earning that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
It grew to a point that it's earning that kind of money now. And you look, when you subjected to not having much in the cities and these environments where a lot of the talent is coming from, don't nobody buy nothing. They don't buy shit. You got to ask them when the last time you actually went and bought a CD,
right?
Or paid for the actual record, because they'll get it the best
He's
way.
Talking about other people are doing. That's SE, man. You're not buying CDs. You're not doing this. You gotta ask them.
They can. Like, they're the great promoters. They're the tastemakers. They're the strongest influences in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They're this, they're that.
But they don't buy it.
But they don't buy it.
There's the kids in the middle of America out there that they got to get in the car and drive to find trouble. It's nothing but a DNA back.
Right.
They fall in love with everything else.
Some of other people doing right now.
If you're not paying attention, look, the slang now, it's harder for people that, if English is their second language, like if not their first language, then how do they catch yo what's up?
Right.
What's up?
Right here.
What do you mean it's up?
Right,
It means
yeah.
we need to move because they're getting ready to start shooting. You know what I mean? Like, but they don't know the lingo. Like if
All right, so that's a T comparison.
they're not paying attention to the music to understand that there's a problem getting ready to take place.
Where did you go to on tour? Where did that tour take you to?
I went through so many
Oh, Lord,
36 countries. 36 countries.
Hey man, you know it's good when somebody don't know where they went.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can sit here and tell you right now, I was in Chino on Chino Hills, California, for New Year's Eve. I was in Burbank. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sound like
I know
he's-
exactly where I was
Well,
at.
I know I did on
Sound like an SINE user versus an SENI user. That's why it's 50 Cent doesn't remember.
Armenia because it was the first.
Oh yeah.
Really though? He went to Armenia?
Yeah, my cousins called me. They're like, "Do you know who's coming? 50 Cent is coming to Armenia."
This big.
He's using other people as a totem to remember things, so that's SE as well.
Yeah.
This was big.
Hey man, but you know what too? Some people want to stay home.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to go. Like I went to Athens. I did the same arena that they sold out the arena they did the Olympics in.
Damn.
So
I sold out the arena. They were in the Olympics for that's TFI some more. Okay, we're done here, man. I'm not even gonna play this game with 50 Cent. 50 Cent is the INTJ. Pretty easy to say. What we noticed off early was that 50 Cent was responding. So that means he's introverted. That means all the extroverted types are eliminated. And then what we noticed early on was that 50 Cent is direct. Okay, with him being direct, that makes he's direct responding, which makes him progression as well. Guaranteed, if they're direct responding, also progression. So he's not looking at outcome, and you never saw him talk about a distinct outcome. So that gives us more accreditation to what we're seeing. And so we're looking at ISTJ, ISTP, INTJ, INFJ. Okay, 50 Cent is literally always talking about what other people are doing. Literally always talking about what other people are doing. From that experience, so that's SENI, so that eliminates ISTJ. So we're down to ISTP, INFJ, and INTJ. They're all SENI users, right? And 50 Cent is a TFI user, so that closed out the bar for him. 100%. This guy is an INTJ. So INTJs, let's look at the chart. So personnel database, we got them back to being a piece of shit. They need to be drug tested. This guy's hardcore responding. He's not ESTP. So let's look at the chart. INTJs are direct. They're in the rationale. So they're the rationale. So go to the rationales. They're direct. They're responding. They're pragmatic. So what pragmatic means is they are rebellious. They're contrarians. They believe in being independent. They're not affiliated, so they're not talking about interdependency or cooperation or whatnot. That's not what 50 Cent's about, okay? Direct, responding, pragmatic, they're systematic, they're abstract, they're TFI and NISE users in their progression. That's what INTJs are. ESTPs, what they claimed him to be, would be direct, initiating, so that's already dead because he's responding. Direct, initiating, outcome, he's progression. 50 Cent's progression, so that's dead. 50 Cent is not a TIFE user. He's not about talking about helping people. Go back and look at the interviews. He's not talking about helping people. He's not talking. He did reference TI critic. You will see that pop up with well-developed INTJs is the TI critic, but he's not beating it dead. Like if you go watch somebody like Eminem, everything had to have a logical consistency with him. So. This is Mongolian Mindset, and 50 Cent is done. Kev, he's an INTJ, and this is Mongolian Mindset. We're out.